Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Felix. Welcome back to another video. Today I just want to talk about the ways I live frugally. I know a lot of people are having a hard time with money lately, so hopefully these tips and tricks that I use might help you out. So I've been lucky that I still have my job. I still had 40 hours a week, so financially nothing has really changed ever since this whole thing happened. But also I recently took a job that will give me a higher base pay, but with almost no opportunity for overtime. So it was essentially a $25,000 to a $30,000 pay cut for our family. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, my wife and I both work, and we currently have a household income that's a little over $100,000 a year. Uh, so while I was working all the overtime, we were definitely not living frugally. We were smart with our money by having an emergency fund and putting 50% into retirement. But other than that, we were spending a lot of money, and sometimes it felt like we were almost getting dependent on the overtime that I was working. So as I was slowing down the overtime and I was preparing myself for this new job, we discussed about slowing down our spending and came up with these 5 ways that helped us live more frugally and get away from being dependent on the overtime. Because the overtime is there, but it's not always going to be there, and that money is nice, but it's really going to bite you later on if you start depending on the overtime. So first is we stopped eating out 5 to 6 times a week. This is one of our biggest sources of spending. On average, we would spend about $40 each time we go out, and that's about 200 to 280 bucks a week, and 800 to almost 1,000 a month. So pretty much the overtime money was going into food. And part of the reason why we ate out so much was because I was working 12-hour days, and then we go to the gym afterwards. And after that, we were too tired and lazy to start cooking around 8:30, 9 o'clock, sometimes 9:30 at night. So we would pick up dinner. But now that I'm only working 8-hour days, we have plenty of time to cook. And with the stuff that has been going on all over the world, we haven't been able to go to the gym or eat out as often. So that helped us save us a lot of money. So currently we have a limit of eating out a maximum of 2 times a week. And for the past couple months, we have been only eating out once a week, and that was mostly on the weekends. Second is actually deciding what to cook for the week and only buying food that we were going to eat for the week. Back then, we would just go grocery shopping without much of a plan and get food that we want and what looks good, or food that sounded good at the time, but we end up not eating them at all and end up eating out. And we would end up throwing away a lot of food, which is literally throwing money away. Now we make a meal plan for the weekend, and we get exactly what we want each meal, and we buy exactly what we need for that meal. We used to spend on average about $150 to $200 a week just on groceries, on top of the $200 we used to eat out. Now when we get our groceries, we average about $80 a week. So to me, the first two are the biggest ways that people can save money. Just like us, probably a lot of people do not realize how much money they can save just by cooking at home and just buying with a plan and planning out their meals and buying exactly what they need and going to use. We are saving almost $1,000 a month from utilizing the first two things on this list. Third is to negotiate or reduce all your bills. This saved us a good amount of money. We started with cutting cable and only having internet provided. So we went from paying about $180 to $200 a month to only paying $80 a month on internet currently. Then I went on reducing my cell phone bill. We were paying about $200 between my wife and myself. We reduced our service from a full unlimited data, and they will almost never slow down our speed, to a limited full, quote unquote, limited full unlimited data. So if we go over I think it's like 30 gigs of data, or if there's very high traffic, they might slow it down a little bit. But we don't really see the difference in our service, like I mentioned earlier, unless it's a busy day and our provider slows down our internet. and we were able to reduce our bill down to 150 a month. But that is also, we're still paying installments on our phones, and my wife is paying about 30. I think I'm paying about 40. So once we can get those paid off, our cell phone bill is going to drop down dramatically. Next was to cancel subscription that we don't really need. So we had Hulu Live, Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime Video, and I think that was it. Yep. And we got rid of Hulu Live and Netflix and saved about $70 a month. During football season, we subscribed back into Hulu Live so I can watch football and keep up and, keep up with my buddies on the fantasy football. And after the Super Bowl's over, I can cancel it. And that's only like 4 to 5 months a year that I need Hulu Live. Next thing I did was I tried to negotiate my insurances for three of my vehicles. And I ended up not being able to get much of a good deal out of that because I was already bundling everything and getting a good deal out of it. But if you call your insurance provider, they might be able to give you a quote that is significantly lower than what you're paying right now. You can even shop around and look for people or look for companies that will give you the same amount of coverage for less money. Fourth is impulse online purchases. We are a huge fan of Amazon Prime ever since it came out. And we used to buy a lot of things that we did not need, and it was mostly impulse buys. Yeah, we buy stuff that we actually need for the house, that we actually need in our daily lives. But most of them were impulse buys like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Click and buy, and we get it in 2 days. So we started a strict rule of waiting 3 days after the urge to decide if we need it or not. So like for me, I really wanted AirPods for some reason. And I put it in my cart, but I left it in there for 3 days. And I thought about it for 3 days. So what am I going to use this for? Why do I need this? What is the purpose of this? And in the end, I really didn't see a need for it. I have wireless headphones. I have the headphones that the iPhones came with, so I don't really need them. So I put them away for safer later and just left it at that. And most times I was able to beat the urge and save money by utilizing this strategy. I could have ended up buying AirPods and iPads, new shoes, some shirts, all the stuff that looks cool on Amazon Prime and it's bright and shiny and lightning deals. But in the end, I don't really need most of that stuff. And we have saved a lot of money this way. It is hard to track on exactly how much money we saved, but honestly, I can probably say at least $100 a week we're saving by not spending it on Amazon Prime. So fifth, I know you guys heard this before over and over and over again, especially if you're a millennial. We are being told, do this and you can save money, which is to make coffee at home. Like, I know everybody has heard about this, and they say you cannot possibly save a lot of money. Yet, truthfully, compared to the other four, it's probably not going to be all that much. But every penny and every dollar saved adds up pretty quickly. So like for me, when I was working 12-hour plus days and going to the gym and whatnot, I used to drink a lot of energy drinks, on average I would drink 2. When I'm really tired, I would drink 3. And those add up, and I'm probably spending, $6 to $10 a day just on energy drinks. And my wife, she was drinking coffee, but she would go to the coffee stands and, pay anywhere from $6 to $8 a day for a little thing of coffee. This is almost like $80 to $100 a week that we're spending on just caffeine. So, and after I got this new job, I'm not working as much, so I cut back on my caffeine consumption and started drinking coffee. So we started making coffee at home and take those to work. So on average, you're probably saving about, anywhere from $60 to $80 a week and close to $250 to $300 a month just on coffee. So although we're making less money together, it feels like we have a lot of money left over after paying our bills. And most of that money has been going into our investment accounts. So back in March, when the market was not doing so great, I invested about $10,000 into the market. And after that, I've been consistently been adding more and more money to that investment because I'm saving a lot of money with all these 5 steps that I've been utilizing. I will talk about my stock investment in a future video if anybody's interested. So, we don't feel like our life has changed drastically, but our wallets have gotten a lot thicker. So, thanks guys for watching my video. I really appreciate everybody who watches it. I know I'm a really small channel who isn't even recognized yet. But I'm trying to improve my channel. I'm improving my talking. I'm improving my editing. I'm trying to add more visual aids to the videos. If you guys can press like and press subscribe for me, I would really appreciate that. That helps out greatly. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, guys.